Hey Sainers, welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to the round 14 player ratings video. Didn't want to do it this week, but here I am turning up, sore throat from last night, screaming at the players, review, answering all the DMs, all the people that are telling me that their weekends are ruined from the game, and you know, it's still hard to understand how bad we were. So now we get to go through each individual player. We can talk about them. It just gets better. So let's see how we go. So we'll start from the top. As I say, every player ratings, this is just what I feel. I haven't watched the replay. The game was last night. I could be wrong. It's totally fun. I'm not saying my player rating is the only rating the player can get. I am welcome to hearing your comments, so please comment your thoughts below and let me know what your ratings were. Very keen to see. Alright, from the top, Rowan Marshall definitely looked sore, definitely wasn't 100%, battled hard, he had 14 disposals, kicked a goal, only the 12 hit out, so one of the lower hit out rounds for him. I would have to say I'm going to give him, and I hate it because Rowe is Rowe, I want to give Rowe a good rating. God, I'm going to give him a 5. Not good. Paddy Ryder kicked a goal, 6 disposals, 6, with 12 hitouts as well. One of his quietest games in a Saints jumper. I gave Marshall 5. I'm going to give Paddy 4. 6 disposals. They were both well beaten in the ruck. Just not good. Josh Battle, probably one of our better players, to be honest. He had 14 disposals. And he took 9 marks. He was probably the only player that I know Rat said in his press conference, the only player that probably won his position on the ground. And that says a lot about, how he performed and what the coaches thought of him. So for that, I'm going to give Battle a 7. Jeez, if that's the highest. JB kicked 2 goals, 18... JB kicked 2 goals, had 18 disposals. First game back in a little bit. Not really, the most touches, 18, but he did kick 2 goals, and that's his job at the end of the day. He played off half forward, played pretty deep at times, so pretty happy with that. One of the higher ranked players for us. Because of that, I'll probably back him with Battle and give him a 7 as well. Butler, 10 disposals, 3 tackles, no score, tried to be too fancy again. He needs to stop doing that. I'm going to give Butler 3. I reckon it could be lower though. Could have been a 2. Burnsy, 14 disposals, pretty quiet, 2 tackles, wasn't really noticed. I'm probably going to give him a 5. 14's not bad in your first game in a while, but just no impact on the game. Hunter Clark, again, similar, came back after injury. First game of the year, 13 disposals, 2 tackles. He had, I think, 8 or 7 disposals in the first term. Started really well. Then he petered off and his fitness wasn't quite there, and you can kind of excuse that because it's his first AFL game this year. So because of that, I'll give him a 5, but I reckon that's almost generous as well. Crouchy, very quiet, 23 disposals. Didn't really notice him, to be honest. Really disappointed. I thought our midfield was shocking all night, and he's one of the main leaders in there. He needed to stand up, and he didn't, especially with no Parrish playing for Essendon. You've got to do something. And I just didn't notice Crouchy at all in the game. Might do so in the replay, but just from the stands, I just thought he had no impact on the game. I'm going to give Crouchy a 5. Gresh, 3 goals, 28 disposals. His first half, although he did a few selfish things, which was really annoying, and he just shimmied too much when he could have just given the hands or kicked it. He just held on to the ball too long. But give him credit, he kicked 3 goals. He had 28 touches of his own. He was close to probably our best player, most impactful player, the player that was most like himself. No one else played like themselves out there, except Gresh, really, and maybe Sinks. So Gresh, I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he was good. 3 goals, 28. in a losing team, you really can't do much more than that. And he was very good in the centre. Got a lot of clearances in that third term when we started that run to get those 5 quick goals in the first 10 minutes. Higgins, 6 disposals, 2 goals, no tackles. I don't know. He kicked the 2 goals, but one of them was kind of a junk time goal. The other one, I think, was a free kick that wasn't really there. So it probably flatters him. I'm going to give him... what did I give Butler? A 3? I'll give Higgins a 4 just because he kicked 2 goals, but they were both questionable. So he could have well been 3 with Butler, which is not good. Brad Hill, 26 disposals, 10 marks. One of our better players. He went at, I believe, 76% efficiency. Not bad at all. I thought he was pretty solid. And for people that comment and seem to target Brad Hill after this game, you just saw a few players that had 6 touches. He had 26 at 76% in a losing team. That's pretty solid. I'm going to give him... they weren't the most impactful touches. So because of that, it could have been a 7, but I'm going to give him... No, I'll give him a 7. I'll go a 7 for Healy. Or do I? No, I'm going a 6 just because of the impact. I think that's the one thing that got me. That he got a lot of touches, but a lot of them were kind of chip passes in the backline. We want him running through the wings and kicking inside 50. And he was played on the wing a bit more, but it just felt like as the game went on, all of our players got sucked back into the backline. They couldn't impact going forward. So I'll probably give Healy a 6. Dukes, this is probably the worst game I've ever seen him play. He played on Peter Wright, who had not kicked a goal for 3 weeks. And he gave him meters of space. I don't know if you were at the ground, Sainers, but anytime Essendon were on the attack, I was looking at where Peter Wright was and where Dukes was. They were nowhere to be seen. He was never within touching distance of Peter Wright when the ball was being kicked in. And what happens there? Peter Wright's got an easy jump. No one's spoiling him. Uncontested mark. Kicks 4 goals. Basically the match winner. So Dukes, that was just a very tough performance to watch from him. I'm going to give him a 2. That is the lowest this year, I think. And I think he was captain for the game, so just really disappointing that he couldn't lead from the front, with his actions. Jonesy, 16, didn't notice him. He really wants to improve on that. He played in the guts as well, 16 disposals. That's unheard of, That's 4 disposals a quarter for a full-time mid. I just don't know what's going on there. I'm giving him a 4. Kingy, 1 goal, 10 disposals. It's always a bit of a hard one to judge because was it Kingy or was it the ball going inside 50? It only went in about 45 times. Didn't get to him enough. Every time we kicked it to him, there were about 4 players on him. I'm just giving him a 5 because I think it was a balance of what he was doing and what the team was doing, and it wasn't one or the other. So I think a 5 is kind of where it sits. Benny Long, 1 goal as well, 8 touches. He did lay 4 tackles. He chased hard in the forward line. But again, our smalls just aren't doing enough. You got Higgins, Butler, and Long. There's 3 goals between the 2 of them. Or between the 3 of them. That's just not good enough. Longy, I'll give him a 5. Membry, 10 disposals, went back, took a few marks in the second quarter when we were under pressure. But apart from that, no scoreboard pressure at all. Didn't get the ball, didn't get a possession within 70 metres of our forward line. Within goal, 70 metres of goal I read earlier. So that is a damning stat for our centre half forward to do that. You want him kicking goals. I don't want him in the back line the whole time. So I know that wasn't his own doing and there was a direction from the club and the coaches tell him to go back and do that. But Membry's he's part of the leadership. He's vice captain, I'm pretty sure. So you'd be able to overwrite that and say, no, I'm going to go play deep. Kingy push up. Let's mix it up. But no one took initiative, and he needs to be a player that can do that. So 10 disposals, went back, took 9 marks, but they were all under no pressure in defence as a spare man. That's a 5 out of 10 for me, but it could have been lower. Pato, 8 disposals, no tackles, played in the back line. One of his worst performances of the year as well. That's a 4 for me. Seb Ross, 23 disposals, 3 tackles. Again, like Crouchy, didn't notice him. Didn't notice any impact on the game. He didn't have that verve, that pace that he had in the last couple of weeks, where he takes the game on. No one did that. So for Ross, that's a 5. Sinclair, 31. No tackles again, though, so that's disappointing. But he had 7 marks, and he was everywhere, trying his best. Similar to Gresh, was close to himself in the game. So for that, I'm going to give him an 8. Wanganeen Malira started the game well and petered off a little bit. 15 disposals, 5 marks, 1 tackle. Made a couple of blues by foot that cost us, but he also kicked a few that were really nice. So that's what you get with Wanganeen at the moment. I'm going to give him a 5 as well. Jimmy Webster, 10 disposals, but unsided. Our backline was all at sea. And it is hard to judge the backline because they did have 61 inside 50s to deal with for the second week in a row. That is 122 in 2 weeks. We've only had 85 in that time. They're under a lot of pressure, the backline, but you've got to be better when you've got the ball in hand, and I thought we turned the ball over a lot. So Jimmy Webster, similar to Paddo, I think I'm going to go a 4. And lastly, Kel Wilkie, 16 disposals, 3 tackles, 5 marks. Not one of our worst, but definitely not one of his best by his high standards. And I thought their forwards got off the chain a little bit. I think he played on, was it Harrison Jones, I believe, or something? Can't really remember their forwards, but they were all pretty well beaten in the forward line. Essendon were getting in so quickly. The midfield had no time to get back, and that just put us all at sea. So I'm going to go Wilkie. I'm going to end it on a 5. He wasn't great, but he wasn't terrible. So I think 5 right in the middle is where I'd go. And then Winhager, obviously the unused sub, which I think we could have used in the end if we had have snuck an injury there. But there you go, Saners. That is my player ratings. That is a tough one to get through. I honestly have no idea. If I'm way off, feel free to let me know and just comment your thoughts. Don't just say that I'm wrong. Give me your ratings. Back up your word. I want to hear what you think. I think best on ground was probably Gresh, and followed by maybe Sinks and Hilly were up there. But apart from that, I think it was just a big struggle all the way home. So there you go. Thank you for watching. I know it's tough. And to the Saners out there they've got a lot messaging me saying, Jakey, my weekend's ruined. I'm so sad. I'm depressed, this and that. I went out with the missus. I went and kicked the footy, had a cup of coffee, had a good lunch out in a cafe. Just get out, breathe, take a deep breath, and know that hopefully we can bounce back next week. And there's a lot more that you can enjoy in the weekend. It's a Friday night sucks because it ruins your weekend. I know people think that, but you got to make the most of it. It's still Saturday. You got all Saturday, all Sunday. Enjoy it. I know it sucks, but we'll be back here all week, and then obviously next Saturday night to talk about the Sydney game. So take care, Saners. I hope you're all well, by the way. And just keeping positive and smiling and being around friends and family. And if you are struggling, please talk to someone, whether that's friends, family, or an expert. We're all out here to help each other. So take care. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, obviously subscribe. And I'll be back on Monday for Saints TV Weekly. Looking forward to it. Not really. Take care, Saints. Go you mighty Saints.